Hey everybody, John with Vermont Homesteader and Mountain Shadow Farm, and it's been a real long time since I put out a video, and that's because the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2016 have been kind of rough. So many of you know that on July 4th I fell out of a tree while checking tree stands because I wasn't safety lined and harnessed up, and went to a hospital in Pennsylvania. They told me I had 3 broken ribs and sit tight for 8 weeks and let them heal. So that's what I did. And after 8 weeks, had an X-ray. Was told the ribs were healed. So I went back to doing all the farm stuff, moving implements around, attaching them, unattaching them from the tractor, cutting firewood, bringing in trees, bucking it up, splitting it, picking up big mungo 100+ pounds of bucked up wood and carrying it 20 or 30 feet to the wood splitter and plopping it on there and splitting them up. So I went back to doing everything that I could. And, I didn't really think anything of it. My back still hurt a little bit. My abdomen still felt kind of off, but, the doctor said I only had 3 broken ribs and I could go back to doing what I want to do. So that's what I did. And then in December, I ended up in the hospital. I had a gallbladder attack, which I get every few years, not a big deal. Usually they give me some liquid morphine, it kills the pain, and then 4 or 5 hours later, the gallbladder attack's all done. And I don't even realize it's done because the pain med got rid of the pain. So I can't really tell when it ends. I just know when I get up the next morning, it's gone. So I figured that's what I was going to do. I went to the hospital and I get in there and they start running a bunch of tests and they're like, well, you have pancreatitis and you're sepsis too, and we got to admit you. And so they did, and they put me on 9 days of IV antibiotics and got me in good enough shape so that I could then get my gallbladder out, which I did finally after, I don't know, 20 years. I had a gallstone for a long time and I knew it, and it just wasn't bad enough that I needed to get it out. But after this, it was time to get it out. So out it came. And so 11 days in the hospital. I didn't eat for 10. The 11th day, they let me have some food after the surgery. And I didn't eat very much. And I didn't eat very much for another week and a half after that because it just felt awful. So I lost, I think it was 15 pounds between going into the hospital, and I think I weighed myself finally. I weighed myself when I first got out and I was 164. That's only 6 pounds. But then a week or two later, I was down to 155, and it was explained to me that I didn't lose all that weight at once in the hospital because they had been pumping me full of IV fluids. But once all those massive amounts of IV fluids stopped getting pumped into me, all that water weight disappeared too, and that showed my true weight loss, which was 170 to 155. So I lost a lot of weight, lost a bunch of muscle mass, which didn't make me very happy. But while I was in the hospital, they did an MRI on me, and the doctor comes in and he's like, "Hey, were you in a car crash in the last couple of weeks? Did you take a really bad fall the last couple of weeks?" And I'm like, "No," I said, "I fell out of a tree July 4th. And this was now, I don't know, December 3rd or 4th, December 5th, something like that." And he's like, "Well, tell me about that." So I tell him what happened. I fell out of the tree, went to the hospital. They told me I had 3 broken ribs, and I waited my 8 weeks, and then I started going back to doing everything that I always did before, mowing lawns, doing firewood, everything. And he's like, "Well, it appears they missed that you ruptured your spleen. Good news is," he says, "that's healed on its own. And you got 2 cracked vertebrae in your back. And those are not healed, probably because your back takes longer to heal than 3 ribs, and you went back to doing everything that you used to do, and you probably kept those fractures open or from healing completely, or maybe even reopened them doing all the work you were doing." And so they're like, "That's going to take 4 to 6 months to heal." So out I go to out of the hospital, and I've been to see some spine people, and they're like, well, your bones are healing, and we're not going to do any procedures on you. You just got to lay low and go to physical therapy and slowly build up your muscles and your back again, and slowly start doing things at a very very mild quantity until your back's completely healed. So I'm probably down and out from doing any major farm stuff probably until at least May, maybe even June. So that's why I haven't been around, and that's why I'm probably not going to do a lot of major videos. Usually I'd be doing some logging videos by now, chopping trees down, bringing logs in, stuff like that. Maintenance on the chicken coop through the winter, which I probably will do some videos of that, just not to the full extent that I'd like. One, because all the mulch I can find is frozen at all the farm stores. I mean, it's hard as a rock. I've gone and like smacked it; it just doesn't come apart, and so I can't use that to spread out in the chicken pen. But we are still doing deep litter method in the coops, which I just redid the coops the other day, put a whole bunch of lime down, new shavings. I think it's my third layer in the coops this winter. And I can do some basic stuff. I mean, my boys are doing all the shoveling. My boys are bringing in all the firewood to keep the house warm. Um, they carried the lime out for me because it's a 40-pound bag, and I'm only supposed to be lifting maybe 5 to 10 pounds. The shavings I did myself. They're not that heavy. They're kind of like light, like feathers, just about. And I just scoop the lime out with my hands or a cup and spread it around like that instead of picking up the whole bag. So there's things I can do. I bring my chicken feed out. I bring a small bucket of water out to give them fresh water every day because it'll freeze otherwise. I tried having the 55-gallon drum out there, and that eventually froze up. But the regular water bin that I have out there is staying unfrozen because we keep a heat lamp over it, and we have a heat lamp in each coop as well, which I know a lot of people aren't too keen on that, but I have them flexi tied up, and I have them actual wire fence tied up. So you'd literally have to like hang on the thing to rip it out of the wood, and it's also up high. It's probably a good 3.5 feet away from the nearest shavings, and the chickens seem to like it, and it keeps them toasty warm in there during these really cold nights like we're going to get here, single digits and negatives. There is a little damage to some of the roosters' combs, but it's not like they're frozen and half of it's fallen off or anything like that. It's a couple little spots on their combs, so their combs should survive pretty well. And if power goes out here, we pop on the generator and we keep the lights going, keep our fridges going, our freezers going, and then some minor electricity so we can charge phones, watch some TV, keep the lights going out for the chicken coop. So we're pretty well set. And then we heat with wood, so we can heat with that and cook there. We also have Coleman propane stove, which we can cook on, and I have jugs of water, and so we have plenty of drinking water. So, and that water we rotate at least once a year, if not every 6 months, so that there's always fairly fresh water in there. If we're getting a real big storm and we know it's coming, we'll also fill the bathtubs with water, and then you have water to flush toilets, because as long as you got a bucket and a tub of water, just dump the water in there and flush away, it goes right down. So and then you don't have to use the water in the pipes, which would eventually run out in a few hours or a day or so. But anyway, that's where I've been. That's why there haven't been any videos, and I am going to start doing some videos, probably some minor ones, and I'll bring those to you soon. We'll be doing some shorts, mostly shorts, because most of the videos I'm going to do are just going to be about the chickens, chicken coop, maybe making some product for farmers market. We have started doing the Barre farmers market again every other week on Wednesdays between 3:30 and 6:30. The next one is next Wednesday. I don't know what that day is, but yeah, next Wednesday. I think today is the 21st, so maybe that Wednesday's the 28th, somewhere right around there. And we'll be there with sourdough bread and our tallow-based lip balm, body cream, and soap. We'll be there with dill pickles, dilly beans, bread and butter pickles. We also make pickled eggs. I think that's everything. I think, did I mention sourdough bread? Yeah, sourdough bread. Oh, and of course, we have chicken, meat, whole birds, breasts, leg quarters, wings, and we have eggs, of course. Just talking about chickens, almost forgot the chicken. But plenty of eggs. Usually bring several dozen eggs, and you can get us at 105 North Main Street in Barre City, Vermont, and that's the Barre Farmers Market every other Wednesday from 3:30 to 6:30. Come see us, and there's a bunch of other vendors there, and check everything out. But that's it for now. I'll get some shorts up in the next couple days. Like I said, some minor stuff. And thanks for watching. John with Vermont Homesteader and Mountain Shadow Farm. Have a great day.